All sports, all plays. Yeah. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making the plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. Great eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace up the field, so tie the laces. All sports, all plays. Network. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.
Hey, what's going on? It's Saturday night here, and we're all feeling all right with you. And tonight we got starting, let's just start it in a random order tonight. Down there in the corner, we got the one, the only Dragon Viper. Say, hey, what's up?
What's up?
All right, up there above him, we got the one, the only, the man with a plan, Ace.
What's going on, guys?
And last but not least, that's right, she's repping the 541 tonight. That's what she's doing. And the great state of Oregon, if we want to call it that. The one, the only, the Vic.
You know what? So Dragon Viper, hold on a sec, J-Mac. So Dragon Viper, you got to show everybody what you got.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Show them what you're repping.
Sorry,
We
I
got
just threw up in front of everybody.
The university versus the state on the show tonight. That should be a fun segment to get into. But as you know, what we're going to do, we're going to go through the top 25. But before we do any of that, we're going to let you know that tonight's show is being brought to you by Suzanne's Bling, Paparazzi Accessories, $5 jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. You go to paparazziaccessories.com. The code for that is 160-920-541-294-5218. And if you buy a pair of earrings, you get a matching necklace for free if you are a ASAP network viewer. And does anyone else want a free t-shirt? How do I get a free t-shirt, Dragon Viper? Tell me.
Free? What? Free? All you
That's
got to
right.
do is comment.
That's right. Comment the page, like the page, follow the page, share the page. It's that simple. Leave us a comment. We can read it live on the air. You become our member of the month. Last month's member of the month, viewer of the month was Brandon Herrera. His t-shirt's being on its way sent to him, and he'll start repping that as soon as possible. However, Vic, let me ask you, if you don't win one, is there another way to get one?
I'm so glad you asked, because there is. For a very small amount of $25 plus shipping and handling, you could rep the ASAP Network t-shirt. And it is styling.
All right. And
also, I just want to say, I got my jewelry from Suzanne's Paparazzi, and it's pretty
there
awesome.
we go. There we go. All right.
Thank you, Brandon Herrera.
And right on cue. I mean, there he is. Right on cue, Brandon Herrera.
Hold on for one second here. Yeah, so I want to say thank you, Brandon Herrera, for that. You're right. Because the other day when you watched that for me, yes, I was with the takes that I was hearing from some people. I was getting a major headache with that. All right, so thank you very much. And Vic, Brandon Herrera also gave you a shout out also. So
special quack.
Repping it.
All right.
Special quack. There you go.
And there we go.
Quack.
How about a free t-shirt? Amazing, as Brandon Herrera says. All right. Well, let's jump into it. What do you say?
Let's do it.
All right, we are
All right.
ready.
So we're going to start with that, probably the game of the week, actually. You had number 1 Clemson against number 4 Notre Dame. Now, so show of hands here. Who had Clemson in this game?
I actually did.
All right.
I did.
Anyone have Notre Dame? And that would be me too. So we were split 2-2 there. Just because I want to see Notre Dame finally do something. They do this every year where they play good and then they don't do anything to prove that they're one of those top teams. Am I wrong, Vic? Or, that's usually the way they are, correct?
Yeah, they're always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Right. And so it was one of those things we were waiting for them to show up, waiting for them to do something great, and they're finally doing it. What's the score in that game, Vic? Give us a live look in at what the score in that game is right now.
Right now they're in overtime, and it's 40-33 with Notre Dame going right now. They just started their possession at Clemson's 25. So,
all right, okay. Well,
I'll keep you updated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you keep us updated on that one. Now, number 2, Alabama, they were idle this week. So, Ace, how about your game ball in that game? I'm kidding, of course, because if they were idle, we can't give a game ball this week.
But hold on, because I will go back to Clemson, and I will tell you so far that my game ball so far, and I know I will butcher his name, but it's actually DJ Uigali. He was 28 of 42, 426 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So actually, for a backup, he's actually had a really good game. I think that's why people were concerned that Clemson was going to lose this game due to Trevor Lawrence being out. But as we had mentioned before, it's Notre Dame, and Notre Dame does not do well against basically better schools than they are. Notre Dame always gets put in the top 4, and then once they're in the top 4 and get in the playoffs or whatever, they always get dominated. But they actually started this game out actually rather well. Okay.
That's true.
So, yes, and Brandon Herrera, you did get my answer on that one. I was saying that no, Clemson would not lose the top spot even if they win in a close game. Number 1, because Trevor Lawrence isn't playing, and then number 2, because Alabama is idle. So they will not lose that top spot. If anybody else has anything else to say about that, like J-Mac or the Vic or Dragon Viper, what do you guys think?
If they win, yeah. I mean, they're playing the number 4 or 5 team.
4.
I mean, if they lose, yeah, of course they're going to drop. If they win, there's no way they're going to get dropped out. If they win, they would have beat the 4th the 4th ranked team. Mm-hmm. No matter how it happens, a win's a win.
I agree with that. Like, a win's a win. You could beat the 130th ranked team in the country, and I don't think you're going to drop out of the top spot if you win. The other teams behind you would have to have a heck of a performance to do that. So you win, you're not out of the top spot. So, all right. So we saw number 2, Alabama was idle. Number 3, Ohio State. Now, could they jump Alabama for number 2 because Alabama was idle? Because they won 49-27. And let's start with Vic on this one. Let's get the hot take there.
As much as I would love for them to jump Alabama, I don't think they will. One, because it was Rutgers, and they let Rutgers score 27 points. I mean, they're supposed to beat them, but they should have beat them by more than 22. So I don't think they'll jump Alabama. I think Alabama's proven that they deserve the number 2 spot.
And that's a fair point. That's a very fair point. Let's go over to Ace. Let's get his game ball for this game, and then we'll hit Dragon Viper up on that one.
So my game ball, of course, this one's going to be easy because you cannot deny what Justin Fields did in this game. Justin Fields in this game had 4 incomplete passes all night. He went 24 of 28 for 314 yards and 5 touchdowns. So that's why he's considered basically the second best quarterback in the nation. But then again, you look at it, and they were playing against Rutgers. So,
yep, I agree with that. So Dragon Viper, any thoughts on this game?
No, everyone pretty much said what, sounds good. So I don't have anything really to add.
All right. And that's why he's the greatest color man in all of sports, you guys. All right.
Just an update, Notre Dame tied it up, so they're tied at 40 right now.
Mm-hmm. So, right on cue, Vic. I was going to go to number 4 Notre Dame. I was going to ask what the score of the game was, and there you got it. It's all tied up. They're going to be going in another overtime. So that's a good game. We'll get you back and get you another update on that one. Now, number 5 Georgia, and yeah, let me hear it. Put up that humble pie, Nate. If you're there,
humble pie.
I'll eat it. They lost again. Yeah. They lost 44-28 to a very, very good Florida team. Yep, that's about all I got to say. They lost. I ate the humble pie. So we'll start with the Dragon Viper on this one. Georgia, what's wrong?
I honestly think it's just the defense not, doing well. They need to step it up.
Mm-hmm. And again, they don't call him the best color man in sports for nothing. Right. Vic.
Georgia falls into the pretenders to the throne category for me. They come in talking big, looking good, and then they drop the egg. They're toast. I mean, they can't, quarterback wise, they don't know which way to go. Stetson, Mathis, Daniels, who knows? So yeah, Georgia's done.
All right, Ace, go ahead. Give it to us. Give us your game ball for this one.
So honestly, my game ball in this one, it obviously has to be Kyle Trask, because Kyle Trask went 30 of 43, 474 yards, 4 touchdowns, and a pick. Now, the funny thing about this is that everybody is talking about Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence. But I think people need to start putting some respect on Kyle Trask's name. Kyle Trask is actually the first quarterback in SEC history to go 5 consecutive games with throwing 4 or more touchdown passes. It is time to start putting respect on this guy's name. Kyle Trask is probably, and it's so hard because I want to put him up there with Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields. I really, really want to, because I think he's got that talent. But I don't know. He's got so much talent. He's definitely at least number 3. And if I had to go with a surprising pick at the quarterback position in the draft, it would be Kyle Trask. So, J-Mac, what do you think? Do you think it's time to start putting some respect on Kyle Trask's name?
Absolutely. And I think that if you get the Jets to get the number 1 overall pick, which it's looking like that's going to happen, it's a pretty good certainty at this point, I think. I will say it's a pretty good certainty at this point that could Trask be considered for the number 1 pick in the draft. I guess it depends on could you see the Patriots drafting him? I guess so. But I don't know. I don't know on that one. It's crazy. Vic, what do you think about that?
My dog's having a fit. I could see Belichick drafting him if he's there for him, because Cam Newton's not the answer. I don't think Jarrett Stidham's the answer there either. So I could see them looking for a franchise QB, and he's got the arm and the skills, and Belichick can mold him. So I could see it if he's available when they pick.
So the Vikings might have a chance to get a quarterback next season. I mean, that's true. It depends on how much they trust in Kirk Cousins at this point. That's definitely a good take. Thank you for that one, Brandon Herrera. Also want to give a shout out to our buddy Scott Carpenter, who's watching. Thanks for watching, Scott. We appreciate you. And if you stick around just a little bit, we'll get to Oregon. I know that's your team, so let's see what happens. Now, number 6, Cincinnati. Now, let me ask you an interesting take on Cincinnati. Now, they absolutely destroyed who they should have. I mean, they won 48-3. It wasn't even close. But they were supposed to win this game against South Carolina. Did I see that right?
They actually won 38-10, though.
Oh, you're right.
Houston.
I'm sorry. It was the wrong. I was looking at the wrong right. Against Houston, 38-10.
But they played Houston, yeah.
Yeah, 38-10, and that was a team they were supposed to beat. So definitely should have been that way. Now let me ask you an interesting question: if Notre Dame loses to Clemson, and since Georgia lost, is this Cincinnati's chance to get to number 4? Dragon Viper, what do you think?
I think so. As strong of a team as they have, I seriously think so.
All right, Ace.
Here, and the funny thing is they talked about this a little bit during the Cincinnati game. Cincinnati is a very, very good team. They're really good defensively. But the one problem that they said that they could see trying to get Cincinnati in the top 4 at this point is the competition that they play. They haven't really played anybody spectacular yet. So I think that that's the one fact that's holding them down right now. If I do remember right, they do play BYU, and we know how BYU has been playing. So that could be their one, like their biggest test. And so, but people do have to put a little bit respect on the Bearcats name. And so, do I honestly believe that they should jump up to that 4 spot? No. I think they should go up to 5. And that's only because since Notre Dame's at 4, and they did take basically so far they've taken Clemson to double overtime. So I don't know how you could take them away from 4.
Okay, Ace, but then who do you put? You're not going to take them away at 4, even if they lose to Clemson. You're not going to make them drop down at all, even though Georgia lost behind them and 2 teams behind them destroyed their opponents.
Yeah, I'm looking at competition wise, and so you got to understand that Cincinnati played Houston. Houston's really not that good. Notre Dame went up against Clemson. Clemson's ranked number one in the nation. They've taken them to double overtime. So I don't see how, even if they lose, I don't see how you could take them away from that spot. Because if Georgia would have won and Notre Dame would have lost, then yeah, I could see Georgia jumping over them. But right now, no, I don't see it.
Vic, what's your take?
I have the best take. That's my theory. So Cincinnati's going to move up. I put them at 5. I see Florida jumping from 8 to 4 simply because of who they beat and how handily they beat them. They put a smackdown on the number 4 team in the nation. Or, sorry, number 5 team in the nation. As horrible as that team is, they did what they were supposed to do, and they did it outstanding. So I see Florida jumping to 4, Cincinnati to number 5.
Okay. Well, I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, Vic. You're very much entitled to your opinion.
I am.
Now, number 7 is Texas A&M, and this is the game that I had seen. I crossed up the lines here. Texas.
J-Mac, I forgot about my game ball.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Back to Ace for the game ball real quick in the Cincinnati game.
My game ball in the Cincinnati game actually went to Jared Dokes. He had 16 carries, 184 yards, and a touchdown. So awesome game for Jared Dokes.
All right. Next, Texas A&M. They beat South Carolina 48-3. Yeah, take BYU up there, man. What are you doing? We'll get there in a minute. Wait till you get to their ranking. It's probably coming up next. Then we'll talk about BYU, but save that comment until then. Texas A&M 40-3, South Carolina. Texas A&M a legit top 5 contender this year. Vic?
No.
That's
There's
it?
just too
No?
many. There's just too. You're like my mom. You won't let me finish a sentence when I start talking. They're good, but there's better teams ahead of them, and there's better teams behind them. So, and I'm gonna go there. Oregon's played one game. Granted, they're 12. I can't see, and you got Cincinnati ahead of them. You got Notre Dame, Florida, Ohio State out. Texas A&M is not going to break the top 5. They beat a 2-4, 1-2-3 team by 45. Congratulations, you beat South Carolina, who didn't have a winning record. You did what you were supposed to do. You did it well, but not well enough to break the top. There's just too many good teams out there that are just now getting in the groove.
All right. Thanks for that, Vic. Dragon Viper, anything to add to that?
Man of little words. Nope, not on this one.
Man, you are living up to your title tonight for sure. Man, a few words. Yes, you sure are. Ace, give us your take and your game ball in this game.
So going back on what you said, is Texas A&M a top 5 team? Not this week. However, the one thing I will say on Texas A&M is look at the conference that they play in. So because they play in the SEC, if they continue to win and they only lose one game by the end of the year, then yeah, they could potentially be a top four team if they got some more help. But the player of the game in this one was actually Kellen Mond. He went 16 of 26 for 224 yards and 4 touchdowns. But do keep an eye on Texas A&M because I do feel like they're going to only get better as the season goes on. That's why I said if they do continue to win and get a little bit of help, I can see them making the top 4.
Okay. All right. Well, so number 8, Florida, we've already talked about them. They beat Georgia 44-28. Now here's the one where we can come back to that comment that ridiculous comment that was put up on the screen. That one right there that says BYU does not play a current top 25 team other than last Friday. You're right, they don't. And they beat Boise State 51-17. Boise State was ranked 22, 23 in the country and probably didn't deserve to be in the top 25 at that point anyway. So really to me
21.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, whatever. They didn't deserve to be in the top 25, so it doesn't really matter anyway. So BYU hasn't played a top 25 team. They haven't played a caliber team this year. So BYU's kind of stuck where they're at, in my opinion. They're going to be around that 7 to 9 mark at the end of the year. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ace, but I don't think so. Give us your game ball and your take on this one.
So what was the question for BYU?
Do you think they stay between that 7 and 9 range for the rest of the year, even if they continue to win?
If they go undefeated, they will stay between 7 and 9, but they won't go any lower, and that is simply because they won't be able to be a top 4 team at all, simply because they don't play strong enough teams. Now, my game ball in this one was Zach Wilson. He went 21-27, 359 yards and 2 touchdowns. I will give BYU credit in this game because this is the one game that I saw BYU losing. I thought they were going to actually lose to Boise State, but they did not lose to Boise State. They actually beat Boise State pretty handily in this one. So,
all right.
Yeah.
Game ball?
I said I said it was Zach Wilson.
Oh, yep. Excuse me. I'm sorry. All right. Thanks, Ace, for that. Vic, what's your take on BYU?
They suck. No? Yeah, they're not gonna. They got 2 games left, and one's like San Diego State or something. So South Dakota State.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're not. Yeah, they're. Even if they win out, they're solid 9. They're not gonna. They might even drop with the other teams coming up. So yeah, they're not gonna break the top 5 or anything. And newsflash, are you ready? Notre Dame wins 47-40.
Well, there you have it. So let's go back to that for just a second. Does that mean Clemson, how far did they drop?
4. I don't know. 3. I don't know.
Okay. Who's your new number 1? Alabama?
Alabama.
It will be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. BYU. Man, a few words. Dragon Viper, give us your few words on BYU.
I honestly think they suck.
That's $100 fine.
It's like what was said. They're not going to get any further. You got to beat strong teams in order to be impressive and go further up the line. So,
all right. Sticking with the man, a few words. I love it. I love it. Dragon Viper. Number 10, Wisconsin. Their game canceled once again due to COVID. COVID's kind of wreaked havoc on the season. Not as bad as baseball though. That's a story for another time. So Wisconsin, I think they by circumstance might move up a spot or two. Miami. Miami was number 11.
Oh, yes, correct.
And they won 44-41 against North Carolina State. So, man, Vic, what's up with Miami? How do you win by a field goal to North Carolina State?
You give up 41 points. You don't have a defense. Your defense gets torched for 3 quarters. Yeah, Miami, I don't know. They're good offensively. Just their defense didn't show up this game, and NC State almost took them for a ride.
No doubt. Ace, analysis and game ball.
All right. Sorry, guys. I almost choked on a pill there. But, yeah, so the game ball for Miami was actually Derek King. He went 31 of 41 for 430 yards and 5 touchdowns. At the beginning of the season, when I touched on Miami a little bit, this one was tough because I said that the Canes were back. I said that their defense was going to be really, really good, but then I saw what NC State just did to them, and I'm like, okay, maybe I'm not going to put their defense up there yet. They are a good team, but they're definitely not a great team. So,
no doubt.
Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Oregon. So,
Woo!
Yep, I knew that was coming from Vic. Number 12, Oregon. Now, they won 35-14. But I think that they could have won that game 55-14 if they had just kind of not put it in cruise control and kept it to the floor. What do you think about that, Dragon Viper?
I'm watching you, Randy. I'm watching you.
No comment.
Said a Beaver fan.
Come on, give us something.
They played well.
There we go. He had to give us something. Ace, game ball and analysis. Okay. Ace isn't.
There you go.
No.
Okay. Here's a take in this game. Keep in mind, the Stanford kicker missed 4 field goals in this game. He had a horrible game. Did that make a difference? Not really, but still, you're a kicker. You have one job, and that's to make a field goal, and you missed 4 of them. That was horrible. I will say the Ducks in this game started off really, really slow. They did. I was nervous for a little while. I'm not really a Duck fan, but I was nervous for them because of how slow they started. But going to my game ball on this one, I'm going to actually give it to CJ Verdell because he had 20 carries, 105 yards, and a touchdown. CJ Verdell.
All right, the moment everyone's been waiting for, and I know the moment that Vic's been waiting for this entire first season of the Sports Minute. And Vic, all she's been waiting for is this moment to get to talk about her team. Now we have a little tradition here on the ASAP Network, and that means that when it's the person's team that we're talking about, especially on a Saturday, they get 3 minutes to say whatever they want about their team. So take it away. You got 3 minutes starting now, Vic.
All right. Jet Toner is my player of the game. Just saying. I know we started off slow, but we got to realize we got a whole new offensive line, brand new quarterback. It's just his first legit start. So it just took a while to get in the rhythm, to get the groove, and he dropped some dimes to Johnny Yams and to Micah Pittman. I mean, come on, those two are going to light it up this year. Once Tyler, Shook gets going, and CJ was CJ, man. Travis Dice, Habibi. I mean, come on. My Ducks are looking good. We got Washington State next weekend. I can't be more prouder. I mean, I'm proud whether we win or lose, but today was a big thing to step in and especially 5 brand new offensive linemen. Come on, that's a hard stop for a brand new quarterback to get behind. And those guys, they rocked Stanford to the core. They scored 14, but it wasn't as close as 35-14 shows. Like J-Mac said, they could have dropped 50 if they'd kept the pedal to the floor. Joe Moorhead, Andy Avalos, I love them. Mario Cristobal is a magician. Noah Sewell, oh my goodness, he looks so phenomenal. Him and Michael Wright and Diamador Lenore, we're stacked on defense. Kayvon Thibodeau is just a man-child. He is freaky skin. I love it. I looked for my cutout, couldn't find it in the stands. So anybody watching the games at Autzen, look for my cutout somewhere in the stands because I paid some good money for that. I want to see it.
I'm sorry.
At least I'm not a Beavers fan. That could be worse.
It could be worse. So thank you for that, Vic.
You're welcome.
Moving on, number 13, Indiana. Now, we had some controversy about this last week. We said Indiana was not legit. And again, they hadn't played anybody. However, I get Michigan wasn't at the top of their game, and they haven't been this year, but they were ranked in the top 25 at number 23. And Michigan historically is a good team. So did they show you anything this week, Dragon Viper, by winning 38-21 against Michigan? Did Indiana show you anything?
No, absolutely not. I still don't think they're very legit yet. They gotta keep it up.
Okay, Ace, give us something. Give us a game ball and something good that Indiana did today.
Well, first of all, it's like you said, we did have that massive debate last week on whether Indiana was legit. And we did say that this was going to be one of their first true tests of the season against a Michigan Wolverine team. Now, keep in mind that did drop Michigan to 1-2. Harbaugh, after the game, even though Michigan dropped to 1-2, he said that he still feels like Michigan's close. That's what he said. He feels like they're close. Now, I will get, and I saw that look, you're like, what? But yes, he said that they're close. I will give Indiana a little bit of credit because they do keep winning when we're saying that they're not a legit football team. I still not going to say that they're completely what we think they are yet, because I want to see them play just a little bit more competition, because keep in mind they will play Ohio State. They will. I'm not going to throw Michigan State in there because Michigan State's just not good, but they will play Ohio State. And I'm waiting to see that. I'm waiting to see if they can even come close to Ohio State. That's like the one thing that I'm really wanting to see. Now, my game ball in this one actually will go to Stevie Scott III, 24 carries, 97 yards, and two touchdowns. So I want to hear if Vic thinks that Indiana is legit yet or not.
Take it away, Vic.
No.
So
I don't know if I should get it, but I kind of want to check it out.
No, they are not legit. They beat Michigan. They proved they could beat a junior varsity football team at times. Michigan is not the program or the team that they're hyped up to be. So, I mean, by beating them didn't show me a whole bunch. I mean, Indiana's good. I'll give them that, but they're not for real. They're I mean, who do they have left to play in their division? I mean, they don't have anybody really to. I mean, they have next they have Ohio State. They have Michigan State, Wisconsin. Yeah, that's 3 losses right there. So,
well, yeah, and that's why that's why I said I want to see them play Ohio State and see how well they can keep up with them, because that's going to be their first true competition.
It won't even be a challenge. Ohio State will drop 50 on them handily.
Yeah, I can see that happening.
All right. And number 14 was Oklahoma State. They beat Kansas State 20-18. So give us a minute or so on that one, Vic, and tell us what you think about Oklahoma State.
Their head coach has a really cool haircut. I mean, Kansas State, they should have beat Kansas State by more than 2. I mean, they were behind most of the game. I kind of switched between this one and the other one. I don't remember what I was watching. But, yeah, Oklahoma State, they were shut out the first half of the game. I mean, they need to beat Kansas State better. They need to play better than that. They want to, beat anybody going forward. I can see them staying at 14, but after this week, I mean, they got, Oklahoma next week. I think Oklahoma is going to take them to school. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to go any further.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Vic.
You're welcome.
Dragon Viper, Oklahoma State, 20-18 against Kansas State. What's your take?
My take, pretty simple: slow, dull, boring.
Slow, dull, boring. Okay. Man, a few words. Got it. Ace, game ball, and analysis.
Tell you what, I was looking forward today to watch my favorite running back in the nation play. And he goes by the name of Chuba Hubbard, my favorite running back in the nation. But he did not have a good game today, so that disappointed me. I'm like, oh, man, now I can't give the game ball to Chuba Hubbard. And we all know, and J-Mac, I know you like that man of Chuba Hubbard also.
Oh, yeah.
Chuba Hubbard. Yeah. Chuba Hubbard. But my game ball today was actually LD Brown. He had 15 carries for 110. So Oklahoma State, they're kind of one of those teams too that, as one of my favorite phrases are, they're kind of Jekyll and Hyde. I know that they're 4-1 this year, but they barely beat a Kansas State team. That's concerning for me. So are they going to be a top 10 team? Not right now. They're going to have to show me more if they want to be able to get up in the top 10. That's my take on Oklahoma State.
All right. Thanks for that. Now, number 15 is a team that I have said all year doesn't deserve to be in the top 25. But here we are. They're at 15, and they won pretty handily. They 23-6, Coastal Carolina. So, yep, Dragon Viper, 23-6, Coastal Carolina. What you think?
Is he snoring?
What do I think? I think they can play better. I mean, that's all I got.
Okay. Ace, give us your analysis and game ball. But it is Coastal Carolina, so.
And I know you keep saying it's Coastal Carolina, and we saw at the beginning of the season, remember too, we saw a Louisiana Lafayette in the top 25, and that was because other teams had not played yet. And I know it's Coastal Carolina, but it's actually nice to see some of these smaller schools get a little bit of recognition when they're actually undefeated, because I feel like when they go undefeated, they don't get enough recognition as they should. And I don't know if you guys agree with that or not, but I feel like they should in a way. If you go undefeated, come on, tell me you don't deserve it.
Vic, go ahead and tell us.
But my game ball.
You're done, mister.
No, I still have my game ball. There wasn't much of a game ball to give in this one, but my game ball was Reese White. He had nine carries for 81 yards. But I could go the other route and say that the game ball in this one could also go to Coastal Carolina's defense. But that's okay. Go Coastal Carolina. Let's go underdogs.
Oh my god.
So Vic, tell us. Go ahead and tell us.
It's Coastal Carolina. I mean, they played Georgia State, Georgia Southern. They play Appalachian State, Texas State, Troy. They're gonna play like a big wooden horse. I don't know what's happening right now. I mean, it's great that they're not a huge name college, and then they're undefeated. Good job, golf clap.
There you go.
You're in the Sun Belt. I mean, you're basically a placeholder for everybody else right now. I mean, you may go undefeated, absolutely, and it'll be awesome. You'll celebrate it, but until you play someone substantiated, a good team, it's all, smoke and mirrors.
Okay. So number 16 was Marshall. We are Marshall.
We are Marshall.
The alma mater of A1 Randy Moss. They won 51-10. And let me tell you that I was waiting for Marshall to do something, come out and be like, make a statement game. Yes, it's UMass. However, they beat them 51-10.
Mm-hmm.
So let's lead off with Vic in this one. Are you impressed at all with Marshall beating a team 51-10, even if it is UMass?
I mean, anytime you score 51, that's impressive. But then again, it was University of Massachusetts, which is like Harvard. It's like smart school. I like Marshall. Don't get me wrong. I like Marshall. I like when they win and do great things. But, I mean, again, who have they played of any worth? They play Middle Tennessee. I mean, Charlotte, Rice, Florida International University. Is it Florida International?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even know Florida was international. Learn something new every day. But, I mean, great for Marshall. Undefeated. You're in the, CUSA conference? I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that conference existed.
That'd be Conference USA, by the way. Yep.
Yeah. I mean, it's great that they're undefeated. Once again, a not a big name school getting some press for being undefeated, but until they play a team that and win against a team that's good, I just don't put much stock into it.
All right. Dragon Viper.
Good job to Marshall, but play hard. They need to play harder teams and win. You know, I don't know. I don't know what else there is to say.
We are Marshall.
There you go.
And last
All
but
right, all
certainly
right,
not,
all right.
certainly not least, Ace, analysis, and game ball.
It's Marshall. How can you not feel good for Marshall? Look at everything that Marshall has been through. Marshall has been through so much. So whenever Marshall wins, you have to feel good for him. You do. You
I said I felt good for
I
him.
said good job.
Yeah, but come on, guys. You got to tell me that it doesn't feel good for them to be in the top 25. You have to feel good for them that they're in the. It's the Young Thundering Herd, if you remember the movie. Marshall the Herd, Young Thundering Herd. So my game ball in this one for Marshall actually goes to Grant Wells, which is the quarterback. He went 21 of 30, 228 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Awesome job, Grant Wells. Good job, Marshall. I love the underdogs. Let's keep it going. I want to see Marshall finish undefeated. Are they going to be a top 10 team? No, absolutely not. They probably won't even be in the top 15, but top 25, yes, awesome.
Okay. Thanks for
Sounds
that.
good.
And
Good job.
number 17 is a team that I said was my underdog team for the year, that they would get somewhere this year. And they've been winning week after week, creeping up a little bit. Now, I don't know if they'll end up in the top 10, but I think they'll end up in the top 15 at the end of this year if they keep winning, and that's Iowa State. They beat Baylor today 38-31. If they keep winning, do you see them creeping up in the top 15 at the end of the season? Ace, game ball, and answer the question.
Iowa State will not be in the top 15, and I know, J-Mac, you keep talking about this team. This was your underdog team, but they will lose a few more. They will not be a top 15 team. Iowa State today, they did beat Baylor, and here's the thing. They beat a Baylor team 38-31. They allowed 31 points to Baylor, and Baylor is 1-4. And Brandon Herrera, who stood out for the day? Okay, we will get to that in a minute because I want to know, are you talking about college or are you talking about NFL? So go ahead and give me a shout out on that one. Leave a comment so we know which one. Okay.
And we'll get there. Yep.
Okay.
Game ball?
So my game ball in this one actually went to Charlie Brewer, which is 22 of 33, 295 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Iowa State, to answer your question on that, though, J-Mac, they will be top 25, not top 15. I'm sorry.
Okay. Dragon Viper.
I'm going for the underdog, Iowa State. You know, they'll be in the top 15, probably about, well, say, 13, 14, but they will be in the top 15.
All right. Vic.
I'm gonna have to agree with Ace there. Their next 3 games are Kansas State, Texas, and West Virginia. They're gonna maybe win one of those 3, but they're not gonna be top 15. They'll be lucky if they stay top 25 after those 3 games are over.
Okay. Moving on. Number 18, SMU. They played Temple today, and I think that's enough said. They played Temple. I think they were supposed to win this game. Exactly. Who? Because it's the Temple Owls. So good play on that one, Vic. I'm glad you caught that one. Anyone who did, that's always great for the show. They played Temple today. They're supposed to beat them, and they annihilated them 47-23. SMU. Start with Vic. Give us your take on SMU.
I mean, I like them, but once again, they fall into the same category as a lot of the others. They haven't really played anybody good, and when they did, they played Cincinnati and they lost 42-13. So, and they, next week they played Tulsa and then Houston and Eastern Carolina. So, I mean, they should win those, and make them 10-1. But they're not going to crack the top 15. They're going to stay right where they're at in that 18-19 area.
All right, Dragon Viper.
I just want to know how they're in the top 20. Really.
It's COVID, man.
Top 20.
COVID.
Because they're 7-1, bro.
Oh, yeah.
They're 7-1. Start putting some respect on SMU's name. Yes, I will keep doing this over and over and over again because I'm tired of these tiny schools and people go, well, they haven't played anybody. I don't care. Start putting some respect on these little college names. I'll tell you what, when you're 7-1 or you're even undefeated, you have earned some respect. I'm just saying. So right now, SMU's 7-1. They could potentially finish the season 10-1. They haven't done that. It's been a long, long, long time since they have done that. It is time to respect SMU.
Underdog.
So my
game ball.
Yes, I was getting there. So my game ball is Shane Buechele. He was 24 of 35, 355 yards, 4 touchdowns. Respect SMU.
All right. Thanks for that, Brandon Herrera.
Boom, boom.
Thanks for that, Brandon Herrera. Give him a bigger head than he even has. That's awesome. Thanks for that one. So number 19 is Oklahoma. Now, Oklahoma's had an up and down year, and they've had some good quarterbacks come through, some good college quarterbacks. Now, in the NFL, they haven't panned out as well. But let me ask you. They beat a Kansas team today, and yes, before we hear about this, Vic,
show them some respect, man. They're small school.
Okay. We know it's Kansas, but they beat Kansas 62-9.
Wowza.
So how about that, Dragon Viper? They beat them 62-9.
Owie. Sad. Oh my God.
Okay. Vic?
Have I mentioned how much Spencer Rattler scares me?
Legit. Instead of the hair.
And the eyes. It's just like Saw or something. But I mean, it was Kansas. And I respect Kansas. Don't freak out on me.
I don't.
I mean, they laid a beat down, and they were supposed to lay a beat down. But Oklahoma is so up and down. You don't know what team's going to show up each week. They're good. They're okay. They're great. They're bad. They're horrible. They're okay. So when they can get some consistency, I mean, I know it's and what kind of name is Spencer Rattler? I love it. I'm gonna name my cat Rattler. But I mean, when they start being consistent, I'll put more stock in Oklahoma. But it's you never know what you're gonna get. So it's like a toss up each week. But I respect them. I do.
Okay. Ace, analysis, game ball.
So, Vic, number one, though, I was going to tell you, I wasn't expecting you. I was not expecting you to put some respect on Kansas' name. And you know why? Because Kansas is absolutely horrible. So how can you put respect on Kansas' name? They're 0-7. They don't even deserve respect at this point in time. Maybe if they won a game, maybe you can just give them a little respect for winning a game, but they can't even do that. But yeah, your point of Oklahoma is actually right on the money. They started the season 0-2. They've managed to rattle off like 5 wins in a row now, but still, they're still kind of hit and miss every week. You still don't know what you're going to get from Oklahoma every single week. At the beginning of the season, I said they were going to be a top 4 team, but they haven't shown it at all. This team right now, this team doesn't scare anybody. But and I don't care if they put up 62 points today. It was against Kansas.
Show some respect.
Game ball.
But my game ball in this one actually goes to Ramondre Stevens, which had 11 carries, 104 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And are you telling me to show respect? Are you kidding me? No, Oklahoma is one school.
They didn't get shut out.
Oklahoma.
They didn't get shut out. They didn't get shut out.
No, but Oklahoma is one of those bigger colleges that you expect to be good. You expect them to be good. All right.
So let's move on. Now let's go to number 20, USC. They beat Arizona State.
Ooh, good game.
28-27. So it was both teams' first game of the year. So this one we're going to start with Dragon Viper, but I'm going to ask you, Dragon Viper, is USC this good? I'm sorry, is Arizona State this good or is USC this bad?
Repeat that question. I couldn't hear you.
Okay, because USC was ranked 20th and they only beat Arizona State by 1 point, 28-27, is it because USC is that bad or is Arizona State that good that they're going to beat some teams this year?
Well, I honestly think, they've only had one game each. It's hard to, figure out how bad they are or how good they are only with one game and only winning by 1 point. So it's hard to tell. In my opinion, you guys have your own. So.
Okay. Ace, game ball, and analysis, and that question.
USC overrated. That was just my opinion from the very get-go. But the one thing that I will give USC props for in this game, they were able to overcome a deficit. They were able to score 14 points in 3 minutes. So they were able to come back and win this game. But should they have even had to come back and win it? No. If they're going to be a top 25 team, you have to show against an Arizona State team that's not even really supposed to be that good. You should not have to come back and beat them. You should have been able to come out and at least beat them by 20 plus, and they were not able to do it. So my game ball in this one goes to Keaton Slovis. He was 40 of 55, 381 yards and two touchdowns. Now, he threw the ball 55 times. I'm just saying, you should not have to throw the ball 55 times.
And ending this game here, Vic.
All right. Number 1, Ace, you put some respect on Arizona State. They're going to beat some teams they weren't supposed to beat. They beat Oregon last year. That was a trap game for us. They schooled us pretty good. And it's, their QB is going to be a problem. USC is overrated. I totally agree with that. But Arizona State's underrated. They're a good football team. They're gonna put up some wins that are gonna shock some people this year.
Okay.
Definitely.
Thank you for that analysis. Moving on.
You're very
21 Boise State. We already know that they lost 51-17 to BYU.
Yep.
Texas comes in at 22. They beat West Virginia 17-13. Anyone got anything to say on Texas? I mean, they're kind of an up and down team. They beat West Virginia by 4. Let's just go. Let's go Ace. Let's go game ball.
Right, because really the only thing to really say with Texas is a game ball because they were one of those teams up and down, up and down, up and down. I don't think Texas is going to be a very good team at all this season. Don't be surprised if by the end of the year, if they're actually out of the top 25. But my game ball in this one, I'm going to actually go with the defense for Texas, and that's only because they scored 17 points, and Texas scored 17 points, but so their defense basically had to win this game for them because their offense was only able to score 17 points. So the game ball goes to Texas defense. Congratulations.
Dragon Viper, Vic, you guys got anything to say about this game, or should we just move on to the next one?
I say Texas is the Texan version of Oklahoma.
Right?
You know, it's like you get what you're gonna get.
Okay. We know about Michigan at 23. They lost to Indiana 38-21. Auburn was at 24, and they were idle this week. I think that they'll, by circumstance, move up a few. We're going to get to that comment in just a second, Brandon Herrera. I am almost there. We're going to one last team, which was 25th ranked Liberty, that won 38-35 against Virginia Tech. Is Liberty going to stay in the top 25, or are they going to drop out? We're going to go around. We're going to start Dragon Viper. We're going to go Vic. They're going to answer that question. Then we're going to go to Ace for the game ball. So Dragon Viper, Liberty, top 25 team, yes or no?
I would have to say no, just barely, about 27, 26.
Vic?
Killing.
No, but I'm giving them some respect.
Thank
because
you.
They are undefeated.
Thank
They're
you.
undefeated in a really bad league.
MEAC, I believe, like MEAC, Metro Eastern Atlantic Conference or something. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see when they play Coastal on the December 5th. That will determine who's in the top 25 and who's not.
And Ace, game ball.
Hold on just really quick. Because Liberty has never actually started 7-0 in their franchise. So that's why I said this was actually really impressive. And actually, there was actually a funny thing in this game, too, because Liberty actually could have lost this game. But when they went to kick a field goal, Virginia Tech actually blocked it, and they picked it up and ran it back for a touchdown. And then everybody was like, oh, Virginia Tech just won. Well, lo and behold, what happened was right before they had blocked the kick, the coach had called a timeout. They tried to ice the kicker. So the block kick returned for a touchdown didn't count. So Liberty was able to get a few more yards and kick the field goal and win it. So at that point, Liberty was that close to actually getting their first loss of the season.
Game ball.
But my game ball in this one actually goes to oh boy. Well, I will just say this one because this one was tough because nobody really on the offensive side really stuck out. I'm just gonna give it to the whole team. Good job, guys, for pulling off that victory. If I wanted to give it to anybody, I'd say the kicker though, because he kicked a 51-yard field goal to win it.
Okay. So that ends the top 25. We're going to go into NFL picks in just a minute. Is anyone disagreeing with Brandon Herrera on the fact that the Gophers running back Muhammad Ibrahim?
Yeah, it's Ibrahim.
Should be the player of the week with 30 carries, 224 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Last 2 games, he's had 71 carries, 431 yards, and 8 touchdowns.
Wow.
The Gophers suck. Okay,
Who'd they play?
They're not a very good team, but the last 2 weeks, this guy's been a beast. So we just got to point that out because, man, that's those are some crazy numbers. Yeah, definitely some crazy numbers.
Very
All
impressive.
right. So, NFL picks.
Dun dun dun.
Let's go with the early games. Let's start there. We'll go with the round of there. We'll start with Dragon Viper. The Washington football team or the New York Giants?
I would have to say Washington football team.
Vic?
Oh, Giants almost won it last week against the Bucs. I'm going Giants.
And Ace?
I got to go with that Washington football team because it's going to come down between them and Philadelphia in the NFC East. Giants are done.
And I
You're
also
done.
have the Washington football team. Next game, and this one's got playoff implications for both teams. We have the Chicago Bears and the Tennessee Titans. So we'll start with Vic on this one. Vic, I think I know where you're going with this. Who you got?
I hate all thing Tennessee Titans, so I'm going Bears.
And Ace?
And I was right last week, by the way, just so everybody knows. I was right last week. Titans lost. You're welcome.
Yeah, and I know how you feel about Tennessee, Vic. We all know how you feel about them. But with that being said, we all know how I feel about the Chicago Bears too. So
Yes.
there's kind of a but if I know Chicago's going to win a game, I will pick them. I'm not going to be biased in that way by any means. But this week I am going to go with Tennessee, and that's simply because that Derrick Henry's a bad man, Derrick Henry. So I am going to go with Tennessee.
All right. And I have Tennessee as well. And Dragon Viper.
Tennessee.
All right. 3-1 Tennessee on that one. Next game is, oh, man, who cares? The Lions and the Vikings.
Oh.
So we'll start Dragon Viper this time.
Vikings.
We'll go to Ace.
Oh, Matthew Stafford is playing tomorrow. He's been cleared to play. And so that's why I was like, man, that was tough because I knew if he wasn't going to play, the Vikings were going to win. If Dalvin Cook runs like he did last week, Minnesota will win. This is a tough one. This really is. But I guess I'm going to have to go with Detroit.
Okay. Vic.
Vikings are going to come in with a big ego, and Matthew Stafford's going to torch them. Lions.
And I actually have the Vikings in that one. So let's see. Carolina and Kansas City. Go ahead and start us off, Ace.
So I know everybody wants me to pick KC in this game, but I cannot pick KC in this game only due to the fact of a little debate that I got in on a show the other day to where somebody was telling me that Christian McCaffrey was not a top 5 running back in the NFL. They told me that Christian McCaffrey was trash. So with that being said, just for that, and Christian McCaffrey's coming back this week. So just for that, I'm going to pick Carolina in the upset.
Okay, Vic.
Chiefs by 30.
Dragon Viper.
Carolina.
You know what? And I'm going to roll the dice and take Carolina as well.
You guys
So
are
there you have
killing
it,
me.
3-1. I think, are we ganging up on Vic now? I don't know.
We'll bet.
Yeah.
We'll bet.
But it's funny though because Nate going back to that Bears and Titans, Nate actually said that the Bears were going to win 32-20.
Okay. Well, I don't think that we, whatever. Now the next game is the Toilet Bowl. It's the 1-6 Houston Texans against the 1-6 Jacksonville Jaguars. Now let me point out that I'm going to start with the Dragon Viper on this game just because he's an Oregon State fan, and actually former Oregon State quarterback Jake Luton is starting in this game. Now, whether or not I'm an Oregon State fan, I have to say that I always root for Oregon kids, no matter which school they went to, because I just love seeing Oregon kids get to play in the NFL. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to start with Dragon Viper on his pick.
Texans.
In your face.
Yeah. Ace?
I have to go with the Texans also because you don't know what you're going to get in Jake Luton. You just don't know yet.
Vic?
Jake gluten-free is going to toss a lot of INTs. I'm going Texans.
You don't want him to roll the dice and take the Jags. I want to see the kid do good. So we'll take the Jags.
And this is why you never win picks every year.
Yeah, I know.
You pick like this.
Because I pick like this. It's cool. I don't. It is what it is. And then you got maybe the game of the morning. That's actually two really good ones. You have Indianapolis and Baltimore, who are both 5-2. So let's start with Ace on this one. On who you got?
It's going to be a toughie. Indy has a really good defense. Des Bryant has now been called up from the practice squad. I'm kind of intrigued to see how he's going to do. He hasn't played in a few years, though, so I don't think he's going to be the same Des Bryant. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say Baltimore wins this one in a close game.
Vic?
Shout out to Des Bryant, by the way, because he tweeted out that Oregon QB 12 and Oregon wide receiver 3 are legit. Put them on your radar. So I'm going Ravens. I mean, come on. Des just switched me over to the Ravens for tomorrow. Go Baltimore.
Dragon Viper.
Ravens.
Man, and I got the Colts. What are you guys doing? Now it's like gang up time on that side, but all right. Anyway, the other marquee matchup of the morning is Buffalo and Seattle. Start with Dragon Viper on that one.
Seattle.
Ace?
Seattle, but in a close game.
Vic? I already know where
Go
she's
Hawks.
going.
Go Hawks.
Oh, man, I was torn on this one just like Ace. I got to tell you, I think it's going to be a close game. Now, seeding-wise in the NFC, I would love to see Buffalo win this game because we need Seattle to lose. If you're a Green Bay fan, we need Seattle to lose the game. I don't think Seattle will lose it in the end, and I think Russell Wilson will pull it out at the end of the game, but it's going to be a close game for sure. But I got Seattle as well. Denver and Atlanta, the Who Cares Bowl. Denver, Atlanta, start with Vic on this one.
Hate the Broncos. Go Falcons.
Ace.
Oh, boy. Since Raheem Morris took over for the Falcons, he's 2-1. I think he keeps it going. So I think Raheem Morris goes 3-1 with the Falcons as their head coach. So I'm going to take the Falcons.
Dragon Viper.
Broncos suck. Falcons.
Wait, Randy and I agree on something? I got to tell
Yeah.
you my thought
Kind of
process
crazy,
there.
right? I know. I've rooted against the Broncos all year. I'm going to take them in this game and roll the dice. Broncos.
What?
Yeah, I know. Crazy, huh?
What? What's she talking about, Willis?
Let's start with the afternoon games. There's 3 of them. Let's start with the first one. You got the Los Angeles Chargers against the former Los Angeles team that's now Las Vegas, which is the Raiders. So Chargers and Raiders, who you got, Ace?
Boy, I want to pick the Chargers, but you know what's crazy about that is the Chargers, they as of late have been like the Falcons, man. They can't hold on to a lead. And the Raiders are kind of one of those teams that are Jekyll and Hyde. They're hit and miss. They're either really good or really bad. But with this one, which one would I rather take? Well, I guess I got to trust the Chargers in this one and say that they're going to get another victory. So I guess I'll go and take the Chargers.
Dragon Viper?
Chargers.
Vic?
So this is my dilemma. Normally, when the Raiders play, I say if Carr plays, they loses. Mariota plays, they win. I'm tossing that all aside because Herbie is going to light it up. Chargers all the way. Their defense finally plays 4 quarters this time. Take it to the bank. Don't cash it till Monday, but take it to the bank.
Okay. Yep, and I'll say that I think the first game that we've picked, all 4 of us are on the same consensus. I take the Chargers as well. So, man, we're all agreeing on something. Maybe we're doing something wrong. I'm not sure. Chargers. Okay, so second afternoon game. Oh, boy. I think I know where everyone's going to go on this one except one person. Well, no, I know where he's going to go, but it's not going to be the same as everyone else. So Pittsburgh and Dallas. We're going to start with Dragon Viper.
I would have to say, I see an upset tomorrow. Dallas
Of course you do.
Did you take some of Adam's pills?
I wish.
Vic?
Steelers. I mean, who's the starting quarterback for Dallas? Gilbert?
Yes.
Like Gilbert Grape? I don't know what his name is. Yeah, Ben Roethlisberger's gonna have a heyday with that defense.
Yeah. So Ace.
Really? I mean, really?
Make it official.
Steelers. The question of this one is how close can the Cowboys keep it? Can they keep it within 25? I don't know. Yeah. How many picks is Gilbert going to throw in his first start? I don't know.
5.
I don't know. And I have the Steelers as well. So we're just going to move on from that game. Then you have Arizona and Miami. Now, here's something interesting about Miami. They are the number 1 scoring defense in the NFL. They've given up the least points through last week. So where do you see this one going? It's an intriguing matchup, is it not, Vic?
It is. It definitely is. I just think Dolphins have a decent defense, but the Cardinals have Larry, DeAndre, and Kyler. And it's hard to stop that. I mean, Seattle proved that you couldn't stop it. And if Seattle can't stop it, Dolphins aren't going to have a chance. So I'm going Cardinals.
Ace.
I'm mad at Miami. I won't pick Miami anymore at this point in time. So I'm going with Arizona. Miami is on my poop list. So
they're the new Tennessee.
So with that being said, I am going to go with Arizona. And there's reasons, though, why Miami's on my poop list. So I won't get into that right now, but Arizona.
Dragon Viper.
Arizona.
Man, I'm taking the Dolphins.
Copying off my paper. Stop.
Yeah, he's copying off your paper. I'm gonna take the Dolphins. I'm gonna take the Dolphins.
Are you trying to lose?
Yeah, I think I am. I think I'm throwing in the towel. But
I just want to make sure.
Yeah. So then the Sunday night game, probably the most intriguing matchup of the entire week, is New Orleans against Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay almost lost to the Giants on Monday. So what's your pick on that game? Let's start with Vic.
Rumor has it Michael Thomas is back. Drew Brees has been doing okay without him. Now he's back. Kamara is going to roll it up. Tampa Bay's going to put up a fight for 3 quarters, but Drew's gonna bring it home. I'm going Saints.
Ace.
I got to go with the Saints in this one also. Drew Brees is going to come out and show them, when the season started, everybody was talking about the NFC South is going to run through Brady. But New Orleans is going to come out and be like, hey, you know what? This has been Brees' division for a long time, and he's not ready to give it up yet. So,
all right, Dragon Viper.
I hate Brady. I picked the Saints.
I picked the Saints as well, so it's 4-0 unanimous decision in that game. Believe it or not, we actually picked the same team. Holy Jesus. Now, the Monday night game is another oh, my goodness, they're making us watch this atrocious game. And then we have to cover this. Think about this, Ace. We have to cover this on Monday night.
I know, right?
We have to this is hot trash versus hot trash. It's the Jets against the Patriots. So go ahead, Ace. Start us off. Who you got?
Well, keep in mind on this one, too, is originally I had said that this was going to be the Jets' first win of the season. But now keep in mind, Sam Darnold is not starting in this game. It's actually Joe Flacco now. And so I don't think that's going to really make much of a difference. I don't know if Darnold's actually hurt or if Darnold's like, I'm not playing for for this team anymore because we're that terrible. So I'm going to say that I'm hurt. But so in that aspect, I'm going to take the Patriots.
Vic?
I'm gonna be right at some point. Let's not forget, Joe Flacco took the Ravens to the Super Bowl and won,
Their defense took them there.
but they had to score points.
Okay. Who's your pick?
I'm going Jets, Jets.
Dragon Viper.
Meeny, miny, mo. Jets.
Copycat.
And I got the Patriots. So, okay, that's the NFL picks for this week. Let's look at. Let's see if any of these. Nate the Great says 20-0 Patriots. He also says 45-10 Steelers. He says 21-3 Raiders. Man, I don't know.
Did he just say 21-3 Raiders?
Yes, that's what he said.
He thinks the Raiders are going to keep Justin Herbert out of the end zone?
Yes.
Where does Nate live? Because I got a car.
Yeah. Texas. So, man,
I don't want to go to Texas. I don't like Texas.
We are way over time here tonight, but that's okay. We enjoy talking sports with all of you. So we're going to start wrapping up the show, and we're going to thank all of you for watching. It's been a great show tonight. We've all had fun. I hope you've all had fun watching. Let's start with Dragon Viper. Give us 30 seconds. Give us your final takes, and wish the fans a good night.
Yeah, I just want to wish everyone a good night. Thank you again, you guys, for letting me on here. I have so much fun when I'm on here. I seem to be entertainment, which is fine with me, So everybody's got to have somebody there for entertainment. So again, thank you all for having me on here, and thank you all for watching.
All right, Ace, 30 seconds.
Well, before I go with my 30 seconds, I had one final question for J-Mac, Vic, and Dragon Viper, because I always ask this question, but you probably forget. So I'll start with J-Mac. J-Mac, who's going to be your standout? Who are you saying is going to be your standout player?
I will say that my standout player this week is going to be... let's roll the dice with it. Let's go that my standout player is going to be Michael Thomas is going to come back, and he's going to have 21 catches.
Whoa, holy
wow.
All right, the Vic.
Justin Herbert's going to light the Raider defense up.
I feel like
that Rookie of the Year campaign.
I feel like there's a trend here. Every week it's Justin Herbert.
Have I been wrong?
And some week it's going to have to change.
Have I been wrong?
Okay.
But did you die?
Dragon Viper. Your standout player of the week. Let me guess. The Cowboys quarterback, Gilbert, right?
No. Russell Wilson.
Ooh, I like it.
Wow, he changed it. Okay. All right. I'm a little surprised, but I'm glad you are learning now. You are learning. So I am proud of you on that aspect. My standout player of the week this week is going to be actually Chase Edmonds from the Arizona Cardinals, because he is getting the start over Kenyon Drake because Kenyon Drake is injured. So I'm going to go with Chase Edmonds as my standout player of the week. And for Brandon Herrera says it's going to be Jefferson for the Vikings. All right. So my 30 seconds, I want to thank everybody for watching. Brandon Herrera, thanks for the shout outs tonight and the comments. Yes, we do seem to actually oftentimes pick the same results in every game, or we have the same takes pretty much a lot. Doug Noakes actually left a comment tonight. J-Mac, I don't know if you saw that.
I didn't see it. My thing's not caught up, but yeah.
So Doug Noakes actually said that he thought that the Pats and Jets game were going to be obviously the who cares bowl.
All right.
So with that being said, thanks everybody for watching, and I hope you guys had a awesome time watching.
Vic, 30 seconds.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We totally enjoy, the banter back and forth, and at the end, we all agree that sports are awesome. We appreciate all of our people watching. You make it worth it coming on here. That's about it. Go to paparazziaccessories.com. Christmas time's coming. These are some awesome bracelets. They got necklaces too. Come on, man. And go Ducks.
Oh, did that come from the paparazzi or not?
It did, yes.
Yeah, it did.
It did.
So, can you get sports teams from paparazzi?
No. I wish. That would be something we could put in there as a recommendation, maybe.
Right.
Could be. All right. So I am going to be the I care bull. Yeah, no one does care, Nate. So go ahead and take that off the thing. I'm going to take a side. Right. Of course he does. It's a Broncos game. But if the Broncos don't play good, it'll be because it was cold. So 30 seconds to get us out of here. I want to thank our producer, Nate, actually. Let's see if we can pull him up on the screen.
Yep, I got you.
There he is. Nate, say hi to everybody. Thanks for all you do, buddy, behind the scenes. Some of your picks are crazy, but that's all right. We love you anyway.
So Nate, just really quick, Nate, do you have a standout player?
Don't say it.
Will Fuller. I did that just for y'all.
I know.
I did that just for the Packers fans out there.
You do that just to irritate me. At least you did not say that word, that one name that I cannot stand. It gets me into Hulk smash mode. So
What? Very shitty?
Stop it.
I'm kidding.
All right. Well, thanks, Nate, for that. Thank you all for watching tonight. We enjoy doing this. We couldn't do it without you. Go visit Suzanne's Paparazzi. Get her some support. We thank her for sponsoring our show. We couldn't do it without you as well. And I hope you all had fun. We all had a great time. And we will see you on Wednesday. We out.
Go Ducks.
All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. 365, we making a plays. You talking the game, get you through the days. We're eye in the court, the dime in the lane. Variety, topics never the same. All presentation, sports information. In the airways, taking the nation. All sport, all plays, like working your faces. Grace at the field, so type the laces. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays. Network. We on top of our game. All sports, all plays. All sports, all plays.